Good evening. I want to welcome you to our 7th annual Diagnostic Medical Sonography Pinning Program. We are now 80 DMS students strong as of tonight, alumni. So that's a wonderful thing. The students on stage have worked hard to get here tonight, and this honor is not only theirs, but those who have shared in their challenges to achieve their goals. We want to thank those family members and friends. Colin Powell stated, "A dream doesn't come reality by magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work." It is the hard work over the past 2 years that we acknowledge tonight, and we celebrate our students' success. And speaking of hard work, all the students on stage have taken and passed their physics boards, and I'm very proud of them for that. We have 6 of our students have taken and passed abdomen boards, and the other 6 get to it, okay? And 1 has passed OBGYN boards. The rest, what are you doing? Let's get it done. We're gonna welcome 2 to the School of Echo certificate this fall, and we're gonna welcome 1 to the vascular school this summer. 8 already have jobs, so we're doing really good here. Okay. I would like to introduce the members of our college and sonography program. We have Dr. Frank Friedman. He is the president of Piedmont, Virginia Community College. We have Dr. John Donnelly. He's the Vice President for Instruction and Student Services. We have Jeanne Chappell, Dean of Health and Life Sciences. We have Sylvia Dow, Scholarship and Alumni Associated Coordinator. We have Lisa Burrington, our Clinical Coordinator for the Diagnostic Medical Sonography Program. We have Peggy Bizjack, who is now adjunct faculty, and recently retired UVA. We have Allie Hutchinson. She is Culpeper Regional Hospital lead sonographer and adjunct faculty. And I am Elaine Nichols. I'm the program director for the sonography program here at Piedmont. I would like to welcome Dr. Frank Friedman for some opening remarks.
Thank you, Elaine. On behalf of the Piedmont Virginia Community College Board, our faculty, staff, and students, it's my honor to welcome you here tonight. Are you ready to celebrate? Now that sounds more like it. Remember, this is a celebration, not a solemn occasion. So go ahead and hoop and holler and let these folks know how proud you are of them, because we are very proud of them. Graduates, I want to offer my congratulations to you, but not just for being here tonight, but for the decision you made several years ago. You decided to seek additional education and to enter this program. For many of you, I'll bet it was a difficult decision, wasn't it? You had to ask yourself, should I stay with my current job? Should I prepare for something new? Can I afford this? How's it going to impact my family? Is it worth all the time, the money, the effort? It takes courage to make such a big decision, and I congratulate you for having that courage. Now you're in a position to reap the benefits of this education. There are extrinsic benefits. I heard that 8 of you already have a job, and that's wonderful. Great job opportunities, higher salaries. But there are also other benefits. I'll bet you didn't know that educated individuals tend to live longer. They tend to live healthier and happier lives. And just as important as those benefits, you have the pride in your accomplishment, your improved self-esteem, your confidence, a better understanding of the people around you. You have gained all of these benefits due to your choice to enter this program. So now I ask you the big question. Was it worth the time, effort, and money? All right, I see a lot of heads saying yes, that's good. Well, I hope that all of your future choices are as good as the one that brought you here tonight. So congratulations, graduates, and congratulations to your family and friends.
Thank you, Dr. Friedman. I would like to introduce our next speaker, the Dean of Health and Life Sciences, Ms. Jeanne Chappell.
Thank you. Thank you, Elaine. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the Division of Health and Life Sciences, I would like to welcome you to the Diagnostic Medical Sonography pinning ceremony. This is truly a day of celebration. We have pinning now, and in a few short days, you're going to have the big commencement ceremony at make sure I get it right, John Paul Jones Arena. I'm still new to Charlottesville. Yay! In preparation for this presentation, this is always a time of reflection. You think back to when, you're sitting in that seat. And for me, that was like 36 years ago. So I thought about, all the things that have changed in that 36 years. Landline phones became cell phones. Radios became boom boxes, became iPods, became cell phones. LPs became 8-track tapes, which you probably don't even know about, became CDs, and then cell phones. And then finally, typewriters became computers, became laptops, became tablets, became cell phones. We all have cell phones. Lots of things have changed, but some of the things that haven't changed are really the things that are most important. These are the constants in your life that are going to carry you through to the next 36 years of your life when you're standing here. Things like a strong character, being committed to high ideals and having an excellent work ethic, and the importance of being part of a caring, loving community that you feel like you are truly a part of. When asked about the trials and tribulations of inventing the light bulb, Thomas Jefferson said, "I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that just won't work." None of us is perfect, and some of you have probably found 10,000 ways that you can't do a sonography, right? An image. And no one fails if he learns from his mistakes. Don't dwell on your failures, but thrive on your successes. It's not how many times you fall that determines your character, but how many times you get back up. The challenges that you face today are going to forge a strong character that will be prepared to meet the opportunities that you'll encounter in the next 36 years that you won't even know are going to happen. These challenges to prepare you to meet whatever you encounter with courage and determination. Be committed to high ideals and work ethics. As graduates of the DMS program, it's clear that you have very high expectations for yourself and that you meet those expectations head on. The standards you set for yourself are the standards by which others are going to judge you. Set that bar high. Make the commitment to raise yourself above those standards each and every day. And lastly, the importance of being part of a caring community, it can't be overemphasized. According to the Department of Labor, there are over 16 million health-related employees in the United States. 1 out of every 8 working adults are in the healthcare field. Healthcare is a service occupation. We go into healthcare because we want to help and serve people, our community, and our world. The small changes each of us make can make incredible things happen. There's an African saying, and it goes something like this: many small people in many small places doing small things can make great things happen. Charlottesville, it's kind of small, there's no doubt about it, but you are certainly not small people. And the work you do on behalf of your patients is never insignificant. However, each of you have an opportunity to add your energy, your spirit, and your talents to all the other healthcare professionals in our community and make wonderful things happen. As you move from student to professional, as some of you already have, reflect on how you can make one small change in the world, in the neighborhood, or just your workplace. As a healthcare professional, you know the truth of what Albert Einstein said over 70 years ago. Only a life worth living for others is a life worthwhile. Congratulations again on the end of your journey and the beginning of your next. But most of all, thank you for allowing us to be part of that journey.
Thank you, Jeanne. I would like to introduce our next speakers. These are graduate students, Mark Fontaine and Emily Uten.
Hey, this is fun. We were comparing our notes in the parking lot, and hers looked much more professional. So welcome, friends, family, teachers, fellow graduates. I agreed to share this honor with Emily, and then once I did, I realized I had no clue what I wanted to say. I was joking with her that I might just do a grand introduction and then sit back down, and she did not think that was funny at all. But this program has been an amazing journey. As some of you have probably heard many times, it was challenging. Not just academically, but emotionally, physically, and financially. All of you deserve recognition for helping us get through that, because I know I was a pain. I don't know about the rest of them, but we have been tired and frustrated, nervous, overwhelmed, but we're all here. I want to personally thank you for sharing your loved ones with me. I have become friends with all of them over the last 2 years, and I'm very happy to have them in my life. These great people are some of the most intelligent, compassionate, funny, and supportive people I've had the privilege to meet, and I will always be thankful for them. But I'm going to step aside, let Emily take over now. She likes a lot of clapping and attention, so please. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mark. I appreciate that. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. At the risk of sounding redundant, because I know it's been said a few times, I just want to thank our family and friends here with us tonight. You've made some pretty massive sacrifices over the last 2 years. This group of people on the stage, we've missed countless family dinners, birthdays, holidays, outings with friends, numerous other functions with our loved ones due to the demands of this program, and yet here you all sit on our behalf. So our gratitude for your forbearance and support really can't be overstated. Thank you so much. I also want to just take a moment. One of our graduates is not here tonight, Miss Sarah Christie. She was in a car accident. She's okay, she's stable, but we're missing her a lot tonight. So I just wanted to take a moment to ask everybody to keep her in your thoughts. She's very sweet. She's a keystone member of this group, so we really miss her tonight. There are also many thanks due to our instructors, Elaine and Lisa. We would not be here today if not for their guidance and, most importantly, their patience. I remember on our very first day of class almost 2 years ago now, Elaine demonstrated to us what I still consider to be the most important of many lessons she has since offered. We had all filed into the class after a few nervous introductions, and now that I think of it, it was probably the first and only time our class was voluntarily silent. Mark had a lot to do with that. In walked our instructor. She looked all business and told us all to get out a piece of paper. She then gave us some very confusing instructions on how to fold the paper. Seeing as none of us had ever taken an advanced level origami class, we stumbled a bit, which of course was her every intention. Slowly, a few people started to figure out how to make the paper crane or whatever else it was she was trying to get us to make. And those students started helping the students around them. Eventually, we all completed the task and looked hesitantly up at our new instructor. She smiled a very warm smile we would come to know well over the next 2 years and came to the point of her lesson. She said to us, "This is what it's going to be like learning sonography. It's not going to be easy. Some of you will catch on quick and some of you will need help, but if you don't hesitate to band together and keep working at it, you will eventually reach your goal." I think this class has done an exceptional job at building each other up. When one of us saw another struggling with something, those who felt comfortable with it would step in and offer their guidance. We spent our lunch break studying together, called each other after a particularly rough day at clinical, and could always count on each other when in need of a morale boost. So I thank my peers as well for their continuous support. We also, as a class, have our clinical instructors tonight. I don't know if any of them are here. I think a few probably might be. We understand now it's no small task to take on a student, especially in our early semesters when we are kind of useless. There's no way around it. Students really slow down the workday and they get in the way of the sonographers trying to do their job. Thankfully for us, our instructors accepted their fate with remarkable resilience. It is thanks to their steady determination in the face of our wildly inefficient methods that we are here today. Their job is to teach us at the patient's bedside one of the hardest and detail-oriented roles in healthcare. I invite anyone who may think that sonographers only take pictures to spend a day trying to find a hole less than a millimeter wide in an unborn baby's heart, or to guide a biopsy needle to a tumor less than a centimeter away from a major artery, or to try and perform a Doppler analysis on an anastomotic site of a newly transplanted liver. It's hard enough to do those things on your own, let alone to try and teach a bumbling student to do any of them. Yet they did, and so we thank all of our clinical preceptors who are here tonight for the time they spent investing in the next generation of sonographers. As our instructors have said repeatedly, there's an emphasis on the word diagnostic in our new title for good reason. Every patient who comes to us has an unanswered question, and our role in his or her treatment is to help answer it. We should never take that responsibility lightly. We correlate our images with their symptoms, their lab work, their medical history, and we confer with the radiologist to come to a diagnosis for better or worse. The outcome's not always a happy one, but we take solace in the fact that at least now we have an answer rather than an unknown. There's no better feeling in the world when when the work you do helps put the patient on the path for the treatment that they need. I like to call the Diagnostic Medical Sonography program the hardest program no one has ever heard of. I learned quickly after my acceptance that when you tell people you're in school for sonography, you're usually met with either blank stares or vague nodding as the person tries politely to pretend to know what that means. This is especially true if the patient does not work in the medical field or does not live in Charlottesville, where the program is more well known. The more recognized term for sonographer is ultrasound tech, much to Elaine and Lisa's disdain. Apparently, calling a sonographer an ultrasound tech is a bit like calling a paramedic an ambulance driver. They don't like it. We are a small group of people whose work goes relatively unknown by others until they need it directly. We work behind the scenes. You won't see banners unfurled across the hospital entrance for Sonography Week. It's in October, by the way. Because it usually goes forgotten by everyone who isn't a sonographer by themselves. While this may sound unfortunate at first, this lack of recognition is, in an odd way, a comfort to me. I think this lack of widespread celebration towards the profession acts as a testament to the character of the people it attracts. No one gets into ultrasound for the glory. We're doing this to help people. Going back to that first day of class when we all met for the first time, I was struck by one last thing about my peers. When Elaine went around the room asking why we wanted to be in this program, not one of the 12, unfortunately 11 now, on this stage said that we were here because we didn't know what else to do, or we thought it might be cool, or we saw an ad and we thought it might be fun. They all had some kind of experience, either themselves or through a loved one, when a sonographer had made an impact. And that inspired them to pursue the career themselves, myself included. You don't often find that kind of inspiration so consistently in one field, and that speaks volumes for the kind of work we do. While largely unsung, it makes a true impact. With that, I want to thank everybody again for taking the time to join us tonight. It means so much that you all are here to celebrate. And just one more moment we want to present some gifts to our instructors, Miss Allie and Peggy and Lisa and Elaine. We just have a little token of gratitude for you all. So, Mark, do you want to help me grab that real quick? It's right over here.
was very sweet, very sweet. I would like to introduce our next speaker, Allie Hutchinson. She is the ultrasound guru and the world's best cheerleader. Come on up, Allie.
World's best cheerleader?
Hi, good evening, everyone. And I'm so happy that everyone's here, and thank you all so much for asking me to speak at this awesome celebration. And unlike Emily was thinking, my favorite group of students that come to my clinical sites are the new students, because they're more open to learning and they're not stuck in their habits yet. And I really enjoy them because they're different, but as you get into this last semester, everyone's got their own rhythm going, and they're taking it out. They're running a room, and it's amazing. And I love that as well, because we can just kind of sit back and look at what an amazing job you're doing and how much you've learned over the years. But when you're first starting, that's my favorite. So just to let you know. But I just want to congratulate the class of 2018. There are a few important days in your life, as everyone knows, but I think that the commencements, the pinning ceremony, and the graduation is certainly one of those days. For many years, I've looked back trying to figure out where I was in life at the time that I graduated, and I think there's a lot about it that I didn't quite understand, the feelings that I was going through and the emotions. At first, I thought, oh yay, school's out, I'm done. I didn't realize that, with this career especially, school's never ever done, and you're going to learn every day. You're going to make a mistake every day, and like Elaine said, learning from it is one of the best things you can do. But there's so many different opportunities in this kind of a career. There's so many different paths that you can take. So right now is just the start of your future. And I think that sometimes, there's a lot of other things that don't make sense just directly related to the program, like the prerequisites that you had to take. I know at first everyone doesn't understand what the whole physics thing is, but I think now you do, because you can definitely understand how physics affects your images directly. You can know how to work that machine or any machine for ultrasound. And that's, I think, one of the main things when other different people or ER doctors or different people, I won't go into that, they learn ultrasound, they think they could just rub around the wand and find a pocket of fluid or something, but just understanding how physics affects the images, now you all definitely understand that looking back. So also some of the assignments that you had, maybe the presentations that you researched, I think sometimes the presentations really help you going forward, because, for example, say you have a MSK study or somebody has a lump, but you're pretty sure it's probably MSK related. Well, you learned in class how to outline sort of like a research project, so you can say, okay, I need to find out what a ganglion cyst is. What's it caused by? What are the symptoms that makes the patient, how do they know they have it? And then, what am I looking for? And you can look it up, and thank goodness now we have the internet if you don't have a research book at your site. But so you learn to do that research in school, so now you know why, so you can do it on the job. Everybody has the schedule ahead of time, so you can do your research and prepare for your patients. Never be afraid to touch any exam, because you always have a backup somewhere. And all the lab time, you understand lab time and scanning. It's like when you're a weightlifter and, you can't start out by lifting 100 pounds. You have to start out with a 1 pound weight, a 5 pound weight, etc. It's the same thing with scanning. It's just baby steps and then massive to be able to scan anything you want. So now you understand why you had to spend hours and hours at scan time, right? Yeah, that's the end goal. And sometimes you may have felt confused, overwhelmed, irritated. Maybe you had to travel very far, but there's such a variety of clinical sites, and your teachers always wanted to make make sure that you were exposed to all the different types of sonography, the different types of sonographers. There's a million of them. So all that experience is part of why you had to travel and go to all the different clinical sites that you did. And then the quizzes and the tests, oh my gosh, I know you had a ton of them, but now you understand. We were trying to make you into the best exam takers ever, because the boards are no joke, and you know that. That's why there's so many seminars and courses that you have to pay good money to prepare for those courses. But you paid amazing money to this college, and I think that everyone here prepared you for your exams, but it never helps to go to the seminars. But you're prepared to take those tests, and that's why you have to take those over and over. So that's kind of a little backside to that. Now, I know at times you're wondering how you're going to balance family and the relationships and be able to make it to the holidays, the birthday parties, things like that. Well, that's definitely not going to stop. As you're a sonographer, sometimes you have to take call or work crazy shifts. You know, sonographers don't sleep. That's just part of it. But I think your family will grow to respect that and know that you have a job to do. And then, you know, most importantly is, you know, a gallbladder doesn't wait, you know. You eat that fried chicken sandwich and you're feeling it at 3 a.m. That's just how it goes. And they give you that call and you just have to show up for that. But so this moment in time, how important is this moment in time? It's just so important. And just reflecting and listening to, you know, people talk to you about your future and how proud they are of you. You really should be so proud of yourself because you have just overcome 2 years of intense studying, traveling, test taking, scan time, lectures, loss of time with your family. But you have so much to carry away from it right now. I think that all the stress that you have felt is important because it helps us all grow up into more balanced individuals, and now you're ready to move on to the next step in your life. I think, you know, just taking a minute or more minutes or all the time to think about how much hard work you did over the last few years, I think that now you know that you deserve to graduate, just as we know that you deserve to graduate too. Your sheer persistence and learning the tough subjects and all of that, you're going to have an amazing future. I think you all are dedicated. I've seen your willpower. I've seen you try with your imaging and to get better pictures. Like, I love watching you all are like butterflies. You're just grown into such beautiful sonographers. William Butler Yeats once said, "Though the leaves are many, the root is just one." And that's like the story of my life. Like, I have, you know, leaves everywhere. I do all these different jobs, but wholly my root is to do good for the patients. And I think that knowing that, that now you're able to embark on this amazing career, you're going to be able to support your family, you're achieving your dreams, and you get to choose whatever path you go on. But the root is to take care of the patient. No matter which way you go, which way you float off into the sonography field, you may decide you wanted to go into echo or some sort of more intensive field of vascular. But whichever way that goes, you know, you're always going to be taking care of your patients. Sorry. At the same time that you've had to grow up, growing up is always tough. But you've managed to make a lot of friends in this group of friends with your sonographers, your teachers, and I hope that you guys all stay friends, even though you're going to be at different workplaces and everything, because what you guys have gone through together is going to bind you forever. And I think I'm really excited for you guys. I congratulate you today. This is truly a celebration of your achievements, and I hope that you are feeling proud too. Thank you to all the parents, the teachers, and all the memories, the mentors. This is very significant today. It marks the end of your time together at school, but it's not ever a time to say goodbye. You can keep hanging on to those relationships, and I hope that sometime this summer you guys do find time to relax. Hopefully you have a week or two off, not in between starting your new jobs, or if you're still looking for a job, to try to have some fun and just relax. I know some of you are still studying for more of the board exams, which is fine. You can do that, laying in the sun somewhere, sipping a margarita, because I know that's what you guys like, margaritas. And I just hope that you have a good perspective on all the other achievements that you're going to achieve, because I know you will. It never stops. I think maybe some of you all will write some sonography books, right? Some fun pathology books, and maybe go to some SDMS meetings with me and do some speeches. Yeah, I think so. So thank you guys so much. Good luck. This graduation day is so important to you. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you all for your support yours as well. Okay.
Thank you, Allie. So I'm going to talk about the significance of the pen. So historians can trace the tradition of penning back to the Crusades of the 12th century. It's when a group of knights tended to and cared for the injured and suffering crusaders. When new monks were brought into the Knights' Order, they decided to continue helping sick soldiers, and they held a ceremony where each monk was given a Maltese cross. That was what they wore on their arm. Believe it or not, some schools have decided that this tradition is out of date and unnecessary, but I disagree. What I can promise is it is a tradition, and not just in our field, but pretty much in all healthcare fields. I was penned when I finished X-ray school many, many, many years ago, and I was penned again when I finished sonography school. I can remember the feeling of, oh yes, it's done, but I promise you it's not. It is, however, that rite of passage from being a student to a practitioner, but being a practitioner means bringing on responsibilities, okay? It also means that we, the current practitioners, trust you to enter the healthcare field and actually perform on your own merit. It means you've passed all your exams and you can do the job now without our help. You are up to the task and challenges your career will offer, including call. You will put your patients first and yourselves last some days. It is the time to celebrate your success in your education and begin your journey into a rewarding career. I ask that Lisa Burrington, our clinical coordinator, come forward to read the dedications of the pens for the graduates. And I ask Sylvia to also come forward. I believe she has a little gift for you as well. As she calls out your name, please come forward to be penned. I must say that in all years past, I've read the dedications beforehand, so this year I did not, so I'm claiming I don't know what's on there. Okay, so Lisa, it's all yours.
Thanks, Elaine. I don't know if you've ever had an ultrasound, but a lot of people will go get ultrasounds, and then they'll say, hey, that's a great job, and it is a great job. But then I've had so many patients say after that, they say, God, it's so easy. Do you have to go to school for that? And I mean, these graduates can tell you it's not easy. From the patient's perspective, I mean, the sonographer has a magic wand, and they wave it on your body, and they get these images, and they do it pretty fast. But there's no magic about it. I mean, these guys put in a lot of hard work to learn how to scan, and I just want to congratulate them. And now it's your turn to make it look easy. And hopefully you all, I wish that you have very long, happy, and interesting careers. So I'm going to read their names, and when I read your name, you can approach Elaine to get pinned. The first student, Sarah Christie, she couldn't be here tonight, and we'll really miss her. I'm going to read her dedication. Heartfelt thanks to my fabulous family for their unwavering support throughout this long, arduous journey. To Jen's generous family for welcoming me into their midst and penthouse, to faculty for laughing at my lame jokes and indulging my incessant babble, and to my clinical instructors whose patience I surely tried to the point of breaking. Grudgingly, I congratulate my whippersnapper classmates, even though they overshadow me, clean, dirty, or edge. Finally, my love and thanks to Sadie and Wrangler, my constant canine companions and study buddies, and to my adorable adopted daughters, Jeanne, April, and Angel, for propping me up more than I am willing to acknowledge. Thanks and congrats to all. Angel Donovan. Angel says, I would like to thank my family for all of their support, Jeff and Penny for always lending a listening ear and a helping hand, my children for their patience as Mom spent a lot of time studying, my husband David for carrying much of the load while I was consumed with school, my parents Teresa and Jay for supporting and encouraging me through this journey. I could not have done it without each and every one of you. Austin Fitzgerald. Austin says, I would like to dedicate this to my mom and dad for helping me through these last few years. I would also like to dedicate this to Elaine and Lisa for accepting me into the program and giving me a chance to better my life. Lastly, I would like to dedicate this moment to my wife for supporting me through the years and being the one who believed in me from the beginning. Mark Fontaine. Mark says, I want to thank my partner and family for their ceaseless support, encouragement, and patience with me during this program. Thank you for keeping me going through the long shifts, late nights, and the physics. No one should have to hear that much about physics. Lindsey Harrison. Lindsey would like to thank her family and friends for all of their support and encouragement during one of the most stressful and exciting times of her life so far. She would especially like to thank her husband Graham, who has been there to do more than his fair share behind the scenes with energy and patience to spare, to be a guidepost when things got hard and a cohort for all the celebrations, big or small along the way. Brandy Jones. Brandy says, I would like to thank my husband for the huge amount of support while I was in school the past 2 years and for taking on all of the parental responsibilities during this time. I would like to thank my boys for understanding that Mommy had schoolwork when I would have rather been spending time with them. Thank you, Blake, for doing homework with me. Thank you, Braden, for playing quietly while Mommy was doing her homework. I would like to thank my family for their help and support the past 2 years, especially my mom and dad for helping to pay for school. April Lacey. April says, I would like to thank my teachers, friends, family, and boyfriend for supporting me through this journey. Truly, none of this would have been possible without you. And to my classmates, we made it. I love you all. Sarah Lewis. Sarah says, I would like to thank my daughter Charlotte, my son William, and my husband Russell for always being there for me. I would like to thank my mother for taking care of my children even better than I could. I would like to thank my grandma for letting me stay at her house and study, and I would like to thank McDonald's for great internet and a quiet spot. Audrey Kate Nice. Audrey says, first, I would like to thank my husband for being very supportive and understanding of me going back to school. You stepped in when I needed you and made things easier for Gentry. I'd like to thank Gentry for being such a good boy and always making me laugh or smile, regardless of the day I've had. Thank you to my parents for all their support and always believing in me. You were always ready to do anything to help and kept me awake on countless long road trips. Thank you to Trish for watching Gentry when he was sick, and I couldn't skip another clinical. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you all. Emily Uten. Emily says, my biggest thank you of all is to my fiance, Robert, who took on most of the responsibilities at home and financially over the last 2 years. I also thank my mom and dad and the rest of the many family members and friends who have been so supportive.
you so much, Lisa.
Sue Puckett. Sue says, I want to thank my husband and my beautiful daughter for their patience and support throughout the program. I want to thank my mother and Jim. Without them, this would not be possible. Thank you, Dad and Linda. I love you. Thank you, everyone, for the encouragement to never give up.
Thank you.
And we're on our last graduate, Jennifer Taylor. Jennifer says, today as I graduate from college, I am flooded with memories of the past and excited about what the future holds. But most of all, I think of my parents and all they had given me, and I want to say thank you for your support. I want you to know how much I love you and respect you for that. I would also like to thank my boyfriend Mike for always loving me through my darkest days and being patient with me through thick and thin. Furthermore, thank you to my family who is here tonight to support and celebrate in my accomplishments. I could not have done this without their love and encouragement.
Thank you, Lisa. There's a saying, it takes a village to raise a child. I believe it takes a community to teach a sonographer. I want to thank and acknowledge all the clinical instructors that are present for our pinning ceremony. Please stand. I want to personally thank you for your time that you have spent with our students. If there's any out there, besides Allie. Just so you know how much time these clinical instructors have given, it's over 1,000 hours that they have spent with our students. Okay, and they could not be here today without your help, your encouragement, and your time. So we owe these individuals a round of applause. We have so many wonderful people in the clinical sites, it's become overwhelming to recognize and acknowledge them all. We do want to acknowledge one in particular, and that was the one that we asked to come speak today. Allie Hutchinson, I am truly honored to give you a gift as a formal thank you for the program and the most helpful clinical instructor of this year. So thank you for the tutoring, the cheerleading, and the tough coaching. We also have what we call the Kirby Award. The Kirby Award is given to the best well-rounded clinical student. It's not the student with the best grades, but it is a student with awesome grades and the best in clinical education. This year, that student is Emily Uten. Please come forward. So in closing tonight, I have some words of advice for my students of today and those of yesteryear that may be here. I really can't tell. But your formal education may be ending for some of you not, okay? You will be learning in the next year. I want to welcome to the School of Hard Knocks and Baptism by Fire. It's going to be a hard year. You will learn more in the next year than you have learned in the last two, I promise. Just like in the last 2 years, there will be times for tears and there will be times for jeers. There will be times you feel like giving up, but don't. Stephen Redhead said the difference between success and failure is not giving up. So remember, life is like an ultrasound image. Put your focus on what is important. Capture every detail. Record it to the best of your ability. Remember to adjust your TGCs, your time, your generosity, and your compassion. Those are the gifts that you give to those around you. Not everything in life is homogeneous. People are very heterogeneous. Some come into our life as a blessing, others come into our life as a lesson. Treat them all with respect. Develop your image from the negatives. When things are abnormal, put some color on it. Stop, smell the roses, measure it, evaluate it, analyze it as you do the images of life. If the picture or the plan is not working, change your angle of inscenation. Change your plan, but never change your goal. And as Henry David Thoreau stated, be true to your work, your word, and your friends, and you can't go wrong. I'm proud of each one of you tonight, and Lisa and I are honored to have been some small part in your journey to get here. We want to thank you all for coming tonight. Please stay for the reception in honor of our Penn students. To get there, you go up the steps, turn to the left, and follow the hall around. Again, congratulations to the graduates, and have a wonderful night.